we are seeing 1 out of every 3 students that enters into high school as a 9th grader not complete high school. So the 1 in 3 exhibit, the Jacksonville Public Education Fund developed in a partnership with the Cummer Museum of Art and Gardens, WJCT, as well as Brunette Garcia and a host of other partners, including Duval County Public Schools, in order to really just help our community reconnect and put a face to what are we talking about when we talk about some of the issues in public education.
I think education was something for me that felt like an overwhelming, unsolvable, difficult problem that was way beyond anything I knew I could help my kids learn what they needed to learn and make their way through the educational system in a way that they would grow up to be productive, kind people, but beyond that, I had no clue where to go. So for me, it was a really exciting opportunity to kind of, get to, and for me, it was the best way to get to know the problem because it's through individuals and through stories rather than just the numbers, which to me were really overwhelming.
I grew up a pretty normal life. I had a mom, a dad, I had 2 sisters that, living the American dream, I guess. My dad was in the Navy and things were good until, my parents were married for about 18 years and then divorce happened for whatever reason. And that kind of is where it went downhill. As soon as that happened, my dad wasn't a part of my life and I kind of took the lead in my family, I think I was 16 years old, so I was still in high school, and in the midst of all of that, the divorce, I went to 3 different high schools. Education was never really important in our family. I don't ever remember that ever being super important or instilled in us, to get our education, mainly because most of my family did not. It got to my junior year and many things led to, my mother believing that I could not live in her home anymore. And I was about to turn 17, I'd never been on a city bus or on my own before, so I was kind of, felt like I was kicked out on the curb, I think. But I worked at European Street Cafe for several years in Jacksonville, and one of my bosses there took me in. She had been communicating with my mother and informed her of the importance of, going to college and keeping my job and all of that. And so I was able to live with her, my junior and senior year, and just a lot of things like, if it weren't for teachers in my school, I wouldn't have walked at my graduation because they paid for my cap and gown and my announcements and all of that. And it was like a community of people, just random people everywhere kind of took over that role that my parents should have had, but didn't. And so I think that's really what saved my life,
I always go into a project kind of really uncertain about, am I going to be able to do the project justice? Am I going to be able to really capture the heart of what it means? But the thing that was so incredible was how open they were and how comfortable they were telling their story. And I got so engaged in the story that I would begin asking questions, and so the photography becomes more of a conversation. That I'm not trying to photograph them in a certain way. I just want them basically to say, "This is who I am," and I wanted viewers that come into the gallery to really get a feel of like what it was like to sit in front of them and talk to them and hear their heart. I think that's really been exciting to feel like these students who were so brave and so open, sharing their stories, are touching people the way that all the people that have worked on this project were hoping.
It doesn't just stop here at coming to see the exhibit. We need everyone in our community to understand that after coming here and after meeting Brooke or meeting Alicia and meeting all of the students here, that they are then responsible for playing some role in the future of education in our community. And what we're hoping to see happen as a result of 1 in 3 is that throughout the course of the next year, this exhibit is really serving as an anchor to a larger community effort called 1 by 1. The 1 by 1 campaign will really serve to get community members connected to the various ways that they can make a difference in public education in Jacksonville.
For me, this project opened my eyes to really see what I can do to make our educational system better. And it really is, one person by one person by one person. I think The thing that I was so blown away by with almost every student was how one person made such a big difference in their lives, and how often I heard them say it was one teacher saying, "You're going to be okay and you can do this."
My life now is just like, night and day, and it's all because, someone got involved in my life and knew past all of my faults and all the things that were going wrong that there was something more to me.